Sometimes it's fun to dream about your dream camera. That's exactly what I'm going to do today and tell you 10 things Olympus should do. Hi there, Peter Forsgård, an Olympus visionary from Helsinki, Finland. And before we get into the dream camera or the 10 things Olympus should do, please consider to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so you get notified when there is a new video online. My channel is all about Olympus gear and about you getting to be a better photographer. And remember, I post 2 videos a week. The next 10 things I'm going to say about what Olympus should do are purely my own opinions. I have no knowledge if they are doing something like this that I'm going to propose them what they should do. So bear that in mind. It's only my imagination, my dreams. And let's start with number 1, My Menu. Olympus EM1X has a very good feature in the menu system called My Menu, where you can assign your most used menu items very easily by pressing the rec button when you are at the specific menu item that you want to add to My Menu. And that should be included in every Olympus camera via firmware. I think it could be done very, very easily. It's such a good feature that it should be in all cameras, in my opinion. And number 2, the operating system should look like the ones that we have in our mobile phones. We are used to using mobile phones, and now that cameras also have touchscreens, why don't we have the similar icons for different features in our cameras, and we could actually arrange them the way we like to arrange them, like we can do on a phone. That would make the camera a lot easier to use, because menu systems, especially in Olympus, are a bit messy. A similar user interface as phones have would make the menu system a lot easier. And number 3. As we're talking about the operating system and the user interface, I think the one thing that Olympus should do is to have an open source operating system in their cameras so that anybody could make apps to your camera. And that would be really interesting to see what the app making community could come up with features on future cameras, because of course camera companies are old-fashioned and they tend to make not so innovative features, except of course Olympus has some very innovative is the word, yeah, because Olympus have a very innovative features like live comp and live ND, high res mode and things like that. But still, I think if the community could make apps for their cameras and sell them, I think that would make a big difference in features. We would probably see features that we have never dreamt of and never have even thought. I'm messing up the words, ever thought of. And then number 4, use the IBIS to help Astro Tracking. I don't know if that's the right word, but I think Pentax has in some of their bodies so that the sensor could track stars or moon when you're taking astrophotography. I think that would be cool, and it's been done. As I said, Pentax I think has in some of their bodies that, so it can be done. I think that could be a very good feature for Olympus cameras also. And number 5, make a perfect vlogging camera. And what I mean by perfect vlogging camera is that it would have, of course, 4K, 60 frames per second, really good 120 frames per second in full HD. I think that could be, of course it could be 4K, but I don't think that would be too much. Then it should have audio jack and of course the headphone jack, a really good quality flippy screen. And let me say what I wrote and other things. Yeah, and of course, and then about the audio side, because Olympus is a very good in audio. Also, they have very good audio gear also. Then why not make a really high quality shotgun mic somehow in the body? And then another thing is, I always use wireless lavalier mics and other wireless mics. Why not have the wireless thing built in the camera, in the vlogging camera? That would be totally awesome. And then of course, one thing that it would be great that it had vertical video. Yes, vertical video, because that is something that might be in the future very, very popular thing, because the thing is that people tend to keep their phones like this when they watch videos, and if you have a vertical video, then that would be a great thing. I'm not a big fan of vertical videos. I think videos should be horizontal, but I'm not the one who decides how people watch their videos, so vertical video could be good. And there's one more thing that I need to check out, and yeah, that's about it. And then, yeah, of course, streaming would be great in that vlogging camera. Straight out of camera to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or whatever. And that would be great. And that would be a perfect vlogging camera. It would sell a lot, I bet. Now let's see what the next one was. I think we're at number 6. And we were talking about video cams. So number 6, make a video-centric EM1, or whatever you might call it, EM3 or whatever. That would include, first of all, the same codecs that the vlogging camera had, what I just mentioned. And then what would be really cool to have some kind of a RAW video in it. Let's say that Apple ProRes RAW would be really great. And then the option to have XLR mics. And then of course the same audio qualities. You could have a shotgun mic built in, and you could have the wireless receiver built in to that camera. I think that would be a perfect video cam. Of course the feature should be as good as at least the upcoming GH6 that Panasonic probably will make in the future. And then number 7. Make an option that you could have a SIM card in your camera. That would be also one of those features that the perfect vlogging camera should have. That would make it even easier to stream. And of course, if the other cameras had also, so that you could share your images straight out of camera to different social media sites. That would of course be so that if you had the different operating system that I was talking about, so that you could have a Facebook app or Instagram app in your camera, and the SIM card would make it a lot easier. Of course, there is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, but still, if you had the ability to do it anywhere, because of course Wi-Fi's are quite common, but they're not everywhere, but SIM cards work everywhere. Now that we get 5G in the future, that would be totally awesome. And let's check out the next one. I can't remember. Yeah, number 8. Make Mark II versions of the M.Zuiko Holy Trinity lenses. And what I mean by Holy Trinity lenses, I'm talking about the 17mm, 25 and 45. And make a Mark II version of those, and maybe even have a version that is a f1.4. That could probably be good. MF clutch maybe, a bit of a better weather sealing, but of course it cannot be as good as the Pro versions, because maybe then the Pro versions won't sell. But the f1.4 versions should also be quite inexpensive, so that almost everybody could afford them. And I think that would be a good upgrade for the lenses. And for the Pro range, I would say that they should make a 095 lenses for the Holy Trinity lenses, the 17, 25 and the 45. And that would be also very cool. And number 9, let me check what it is. Yeah, it's all about lenses. Olympus, make Sine Lenses. And by Sine Lenses I mean lenses for video and movie making. Because Micro Four Thirds is a very, very good video cam, a very good format for video. There are several camera companies that make video cameras which has Micro Four Thirds sensor. We have Blackmagic, we have Panasonic, and then we have of course Olympus. So there are plenty of Micro Four Thirds video cams out there. So a Sine lens would be really great. And if you have the if you have the M.Zuiko Pro lenses as a base lens and then convert that to a Sine lens, that would be totally awesome. Let's say that 12 to 100mm as a Sine version, the 1.2 Holy Trinity as a base lens for that, and then transfer that into a Sine version. That would be totally cool. And if you have the t-value below 2, would be even greater with those lenses. So I think those would sell. And before we get into the number 10, yeah, you guessed it, there will be number 11 also. Like always, if I say 10, there will be one more, or 2 maybe, but this time only 1. Number 10 is, we need a new sensor for Micro Four Thirds. Not necessarily more pixels, but we need a 14-bit sensor that can capture 14-bit of data for raw images. That would make a whole lot of difference in image quality. It would make the dynamic range better. It would make the ability to post-process those images even more. Nothing wrong with the image quality now, but of course, if it could be better, no problem with that. So make a 14-bit Micro Four Thirds sensor. And then number 11 is the big question. Should Olympus make a full-frame camera? There was a big buzz about full-frame cameras in last fall when Panasonic announced that they are making an alliance with Leica, Sigma and Panasonic themselves with a L-mount lens and full-frame cameras. And yes, Panasonic made the S-series of full-frame cameras. And of course there was a big buzz because Canon and Nikon also made full-frame mirrorless cameras. And in my opinion, Olympus should not make a full-frame camera. I don't see any advantages of that, because as we have seen, the full-frame is not the holy grail of photography at all. I think there is a market for Micro Four Thirds cameras, because I think for me, for example, and there might be a lot and lots of other people too, where the form factor is just perfect. I don't need any bigger camera or bigger sensor or more megapixels. If I did, I would go straight up to medium format. That would be an upgrade, a real upgrade from a smaller sensor, to go straight to the medium format. The full frame, so-called full frame, is just the same size that the 35mm film was, and so there's no real reasonable reason why full frame is in digital world also the best format. I think so. If we say that if Olympus should go to full frame, no, they should go to medium format if they want a bigger sensor. But that's a whole nother story. Which one of these were your favorites? Or is there anything else that you would like to see Olympus do? Please let me know in the comments down below. And then the second question is, I've had a camera here. Anybody know what the camera is? If you do, please let me know in the comments down below that also. Now let me show this a bit closer. And you might want to watch these two videos next. But hey, thanks for watching and bye for now.